Where we lock and load. Where we lock and load. Allen Pamps. It's the Allen Pamps Show. Where we lock and load. It's the Allen Pamps Show. Where we lock and load. It's the Allen Pamps Show. Where we lock and load. It's the Allen Pamps Show. Where we lock and load. Where we lock and load. Allen Pamps. It's the Allen Pamps Show. Where we lock and load. It's the Allen Pamps Show. Where we lock and load. It's the Allen Pamps Show. Where we lock and load. It's the Allen Pamps Show. Where we lock and load.
Welcome to the edition of the Allen Powell Show. We got a locked and loaded show for you. We got a big news coming in for our Chicago Bears. So I think I got an all Chicago Bears panel besides one guy. His team is in the AFC Championship game, so we still had to bring him on, but he's gonna have to wait. He's gonna have to wait because we got big news coming in for the Chicago Bears. The Bears have a new head coach that I think a lot of people are excited about. He had a press conference today, and I want to analyze it a little bit. He said some things that stuck out to me. And so because we have an all-Bear panel, Bear fans, Bear lifers, diehard Bears fans, I want to know what y'all thought about the press conference as far as did he win it? And just in general, was this the guy that you wanted for head coach? Before we get to the press conference, let's go ahead and just talk about is this the guy that you wanted? Because for me, I think on previous shows, y'all remember, this was the guy that I wanted from jump. This was the guy I wanted. I didn't want Mike McCarthy. I didn't want what's his name from Seattle, the old coach Pete Carroll. Didn't want him, and the list goes on and on. This was the guy I wanted. The reason why I wanted him is we seen up close when they played Detroit, his play calling ability. Now, people will say in his last playoff game that he might have got a little too cute on a few things, but the proof is in the pudding. Over the last 3 seasons, top 5 offense, we've seen what he can do play calling wise. And I know the player personnel is a little different in Detroit and Chicago, and that's something to be addressed. But Eberflus, he didn't have the name that Ben Johnson had. Like, we didn't get a chance to see him up close personally. He won in our division. He's a defensive guy. I didn't hear his name being talked about or even thought about like Ben Johnson. So just from a up close eye test point of view, is this the guy that y'all wanted? Are y'all happy with it? Vic, I'll go to you first, man. How do you feel about this pick?
Like, bro, remember I had the conversation with you. I didn't know who I really wanted, at the time. Like, I was like kind of up in the air, but I always have admired, his play calling ability the last few years. To be able to come in there and turn the lines around, that's kind of impressive. With him usually being the doorman. I mean, I get a head coach a lot of credit, but you have to give him a lot of credit too, though. I mean, the higher scoring offense, and my only hiccup with hiring him, I said, man, can he bring about 3 of those all-pro offensive linemen with him over here? You know what I'm saying? That's all I want to know. If he can do that, it's all good. No, but he talked. He sounded good, bro. He sounded good. Now let's just see this Chicago. It's a different animal. Let's see if he can get with the GM and they get the right personnel. It's all about personnel. If they get the right personnel, I don't have any problem. I don't have any doubt that he can be successful. I don't have any doubt that he can be successful if they get the right personnel for him.
That's what's up. And you talked about some stuff that he said, and we're going to get into that in a minute. Gene, I want to come to you, man. Your thoughts about the pick of Ben Johnson, head coach for the Chicago Bears?
I think that was a good pick, man. It's just interesting because around this time of year, especially this cycle, you don't really have a lot of good coaches that's not going to be available, right? It's going to be mostly coordinators, right? You don't want the retreads. And so it just made sense for me. I had a shouting match with one of my friends 2 days ago about this. And his whole thing was, well, what about the defense? And I was just like, we didn't wait 2 years to draft a quarterback number one to worry about defense. I said that same defense quit on the Hail Mary, right? We lost on the Hail Mary. That same defense, we lost to Anthony Richardson when he completed a whopping 7 passes against the Bears. So this is all about Caleb and that offense, getting that back on track. And so I am all for it. I think he's the best candidate, and we'll talk about what he said. But one of the things that got me was that he wanted this job, and
We're
so
gonna
when
talk
you,
about that. Yeah, we're
yeah,
gonna
so,
talk
but
about
go
that.
ahead.
It's
Yep.
a reason. I didn't looked up some stuff, a little research. There's a reason why he wanted this job. But was he your number one pick?
By default, yes. By default, yes. Because again, like you don't have like obviously great coaches not gonna be available. I would have probably wanted. Well, my pick was actually Vrabel or Tomlin, but I mean, you knew that wasn't going to happen because the proof was in the pudding with the Patriots and Tomlin. They wanted to relinquish him, so he was by default. Yes.
Okay, yeah, I didn't want Vrabel and Tomlin. He would have been cool, but I'm good on that. But Vrabel, heck no. But he ain't done enough for me. Like, what has he done to be that hot? That's just me. That's just me. But Ralph, give me your thoughts. Ben Johnson.
Well, I would be transparent. He was my pick, and then when McCarthy became available, I was leaning towards McCarthy. The reason why I thought or I felt until I saw his opening press conference, I thought the organization was too big, too mainstream for a person who has never head coached. Not being funny, I know we've lost for some years, but we still Chicago. We still sell more merchandise more than any other team other than the Dallas Cowboys. So we had one of the biggest fan base. So I didn't think he was ready for this type of organization. But he said something I know we're going to talk about. But when he said, not the opening press conference,
Yeah.
when he walked into the room with the
All
employees, he
Right.
said something that stuck out to me. And I was like, okay, he's a leader of men. His play call is phenomenal. I love what he does. He like my man Vic said, he turned around the Detroit Lions. And they've had superstars. They still suck.
Right.
But
Right.
I honestly was leaning towards McCarthy, and then after that opening interview, I said, okay, he gonna be all right. He gonna be all right.
It's all or nothing for Ryan Poles at this point. This is it.
Yeah.
But I think he swung for the fences. He swung for the fences like, yo, already Eberflus, okay, gone. This my last one. I'm gonna go big or go home. Mike McCarthy would have been a safe pick, right?
Yeah.
Nah, he like, yo, let me go for the gusto. Let me go for the hottest guy out there, and let me see if I can get this thing fixed. Ben Johnson, we talking about him a little bit at work. This was always my pick, even though like he got a little cute in the last playoff game. But the first half, his play calling was still on point. That one trick play that didn't work out that last time, to me, that was like his only mistake. But if you look at the game, they still put up 41 points. It wasn't the offense that was messed up. It was the defense that gave up 45 to the Commanders. So what Ben Johnson was always my pick, even though he had a little snaffle in the playoff game. Was this your number one pick, and do you think they got it right?
Yes, definitely was my number one pick. One of the offensive guy, one of the younger coach. Tired of these old retreads. I think they got it right, man. Out of the candidates available, I think it was the best choice. He knows the division. We weakened the Detroit Lions today and got ourselves a good one. I wanted him last year. I think his loyalty to the Lions was commendable for him to go back, knowing he was just as hot last year, to go back and try to win it all with them again. I'm pretty sure if we had our choice, Eberflus would have been gone. He would have been the coach to start this season. So to get the pretty girl at the dance, I'm all for it. So I like it. I just want to see what he's gonna do with the pieces that we have or lack thereof.
And I remember you made the point by getting the offensive guy, you don't have to worry about if you got a defensive guy and the offense is surging, then he go get another job. We don't have to worry about that problem. You made that point, which is a great point on I think on the last show. I do want to play this press conference because I want to break it down and talk about some of the things that he said. So we're gonna watch the press conference and analyze what he said. So here we go. And I matter of fact, I played it like halfway through. It's not at the beginning, but I played it. I got to the point where I felt like he started talking that talk. So here we go.
With that being said, I want to thank the search committee here in Chicago. It was clear to me from the beginning that the priorities were straight. There's only one way for us to have success here, and that's the right people in place. George, thank you for trusting the people that you've hired. It is perfectly clear that you're willing to provide all the resources necessary for us to build a sustained winner here in Chicago. Kevin, I appreciate your support as well. You're going to play an integral part of everything that we have going on. And Ryan, thank you so much for trusting and believing in me. What you and your staff have already built here is so enticing. This roster is absolutely loaded with talent already, and I look forward to building it with you. You and I, as we've already talked about, we're going to be in lockstep every step of the way. I cannot wait to work with you. I told this search committee that I wanted this job. And there's several reasons why I wanted this job. The first is this place. For the last 10 plus years, my family and I have been coming up for a Cubs series every summer. And it doesn't take long to realize that this place is special. These people are special. This is exactly where I wanted to raise my family, my kids. I know we're going to have so much fun living up here in Chicago. All right. Number two is this roster that Ryan's already built. It is stocked. It's loaded. Everyone wants to talk about the quarterback, and Caleb, I'm excited to work with you, but it's going to take more than just you. And there are a lot of pieces already in place. And I can't wait to get to work with the rest of you guys. And then finally, I wanted to stay in this division. I know this is the toughest division of football right now. There's 3 teams that made the playoffs this year. I've got tremendous amount of respect for the coaches and the players in this league, having competed against them for the last 6 years. Dan Campbell, Kevin O'Connell, you're talking about 2 guys that are up for Coach of the Year awards as the season ends here. And to be quite frank with you, I kind of enjoyed beating Matt LaFleur twice a year. With that being said, I do have a message here for the players. Get comfortable being uncomfortable. The bar has been set higher than it's ever been set before. The only way for this team and for you as individual players to reach your potential is to be pushed and to be challenged. And that's exactly what I and my staff plan on doing. We are going to push, we're going to challenge. And along with those high standards, there's also going to be a high level of support as well. Everybody in this building is going to be all about helping you guys out. How do you become the best versions of yourselves? That's what it's going to be about from start.
All right. I think we got that's just about the end. So y'all heard what he had to say on a multitude of things. I got my notes, but I'm gonna let y'all go first because it's a few things that stuck out to me. Ralph, I'm gonna come to you first. Anything that stuck out in that press conference?
So, not to discredit his press conference, but the day before when they walked his family into Hallis Hall, he said those few words to the employees. He says something that, because I'm a big proponent on like leaders, especially like in a workplace. And he said, "Thank you guys for welcoming us." He said, "You guys are all a part of this. It's going to take every one of you guys." But he said, "It's going to take every one of you guys supporting the locker room, supporting them." Because the reality of it is, just like probably most of us on our jobs, we're probably the ones that make the company the money, or we make the organization the money. We're doing the work, but it's the presidents, the CEOs, the managers, they get all the the accolades. But when he said that, he didn't make it about him. He made it about the players because I saw a podcast of another player. I wish I'd wrote his name down just for tonight. But he said they asked him which team did he hate the worst in the NFL. He said the Chicago Bears organization is the biggest joke. He said he was on the team when they went to the NFC Championship. He said that team you could have literally dropped 15 passes and sat on the sideline and snorted cocaine and nobody would call you out. He said there was no leadership there. To me, by him doing it as a coach, telling the office staff, the trainers, and everybody else that we need to do whatever we got to do to make those players the best version of themselves, that spoke volumes for him as a leader. Forget his play calling and all that.
Yeah.
He won the locker room with that. What he said to Caleb Williams and the players, get comfortable being uncomfortable.
Yeah.
He won the locker room because he's now going to set the bar extremely high. So I didn't see the press conference till you just played it. After what he did yesterday, I was like, oh, you won me. Okay. I don't even know who Mike McCarthy is no more. I'm good.
Yeah. And we know, like, when it comes to introductory press conferences, man, people say all types of stuff and it sounds good at the beginning. And if you remember Dan Campbell's press conference, he talking about biting kneecaps and all types of stuff. And at first I was like, oh, this dude is a joke. You know what I'm saying? It was a joke to me, like, yo, you talking about biting kneecaps? But he turned around that culture. Brian, when you hear that press conference, anything stick out to you?
He kept saying, I wanted to be here. I don't think he had to be convinced. He knew what this roster was. He gave a glowing endorsement to Poles. All that talk that they've been saying, oh, he wants to bring his own general manager with him. It didn't sound like it in that press conference to me. It just sounds like a guy that may have landed his dream job. You know what I mean? What you coming here watching Cubs games for in the summertime? You know what I'm saying? What you doing in Chicago? Break you a South Carolina, Boston College guy? So, for me, again, the press conference it showed me that the feeling was mutual, and we didn't have to convince him that this was a destination to be. And I like that. I like that. That means a lot to me. I like the eye contact. I like that he told Caleb, "Hey, it's not just about you, bro. It's gonna take all 53 and some to do this." So I just like my man just said, how he set the tone. I even like the joke he cracked and told everybody get back to work at that same thing you talking about. So it just seems like coming from Eberflus. Hey man, I listen to him at the podium any day. So it was just he got he had me a hello. That's all I can say, man. He had me a hello, man.
Romance going on right now. That's
yeah. Oh man, pause.
That's what's up. All right, Vic. What you got from the press conference, man?
I mean, they kind of touched on it already, bro. So what I'm saying, I don't want to beat a dead horse. You know what I'm saying? We keep sound repetitive. So, they both guys already touched on some of the things that I took from. You know what I'm saying? What that stood out, he told him, said, Caleb, you good, but it's not all about you. That's the most thing I took from. But Brian had already touched on it. That's what I like about it. He focused on the roster. He kept on talking about how good the roster was because everyone else was saying like he's got the quarterback already. He got the quarterback already. He looked at the big picture like, man, I got more than the quarterback already. I got a top 10 wide receiver. I have DJ Moore. You know what I'm saying? I got Cole Kmet. This man is an offensive guy. He knows what he got, bro. He's looking like I know I'm the guy to unlock this. He like, man, look what I'm coming into. He looked like, look at what I'm coming into. My dream job, and it's already a good team. And he knows it, in spite of the record. He didn't want to say it, but he knows in his mind that this is a good team in spite of the record, bro.
Right on. I agree with you. All right, Jane, what you get from the press conference, bro?
I got a couple things, man. One thing I did love about it was that his digging at the Packers at Matt LaFleur because he walking in the door. See, I think with the Bears, especially like with those organizations like the Packers and Steelers, you got to know the history and the culture of the franchise, and he understands that it don't like yes, we want to win, but it's also about beating them,
Right.
and so he's setting the tone. Like, yeah, and that it was kind of slick how he did it. I did enjoy beating LaFleur 2 times, so he basically putting the dot on them. So I look forward to that. But one thing I think we missed though, if you go all the way back to the beginning, before he said we aligned at the hip, and so I think we need to pay attention to this too. They did not extend Pose yet,
Oh,
and so his job is on the line.
for sure.
Uh, if see people missing this, yes, I'm sure that because we saw today Trent Baalke got let go for Jacksonville because what the who wants the job? They want their own guy. And this is what we're gonna have to pay attention to how this draft is how this play out because he said a reporter asked him, "Well, how's the alignment?" He said, "I'll let them tell you what the real alignment is." But then said he came back and said we joined at the hip. So it's some PC stuff going on. So stay tuned for that. But uh, like they said, some of the things that they talked about, comfortable being uncomfortable, having Caleb in the team, and just being accountable. He did also say this. He said that one of the things that he's going to look forward to is the coaches holding the players accountable,
Yeah.
but then it should get to a point where the vets hold each other accountable. And that's the thing that ruined this team was these vets didn't hold each other accountable. And so that's what I because that told me a whole lot. Like he's a leader, right? He don't look like it. He really don't look like it. But when he talked, I was like, okay, we got our guy. So I really believe we got our guy, and I'm excited.
I do too, man. We got Dewan Freeman on YouTube. What we doing with Thomas Brown? Oh, he gone. He toast. Like I'm sorry. Like you got to go, bro. Like nothing against you, but you gone. You chop liver. Like you know you got caught up in a bad situation. It happens. But I'm gonna tell you a few things I got from the press conference. One, when he talked about the Packers, it reminded me of Lovie Smith. When Lovie Smith came in, he talked about beating the Packers. That's one. That's a big deal in Chicago. Like y'all talked about, knowing the history of the Chicago Bears. That's one of the top priorities is beating the Green Bay Packers. And he put an emphasis on the Packers. He talked about O'Connell and he talked about what's the other coach?
Dan Campbell.
Yeah, he talked about those two. But then he cracked the joke and he keyed in on the Green Bay Packers. He loved beating them twice a year. That's music to Bears fans' ears. To hear that talk. Come on, man. That reminded me of Lovey. Number two, he said he really, really wanted this job. It's reports that saying he's going to get paid $13 million a year as a first-year head coach. I would want that job too. $13 million. It's only probably like I think 8 coaches that he's not being paid more than. So they threw the bag at him. They threw the bag. They made sure that they got their guy. I ain't mad at it because if it worked out, it was worth it. $13 million. It's easy for him to say I wanted this job. I don't know if anybody else was throwing that type of bread. So that's number two. Another thing, he talked about George McCaskey willing to provide all the resources necessary to build a sustainable winner. When have you ever heard that? I ain't never heard that. I ain't never heard somebody talk about George McCaskey in that way. And that could be the money talking or he got full control. I don't know what it is, but I never heard somebody talk about George McCaskey like that. Go ahead, Vic.
I'm thinking, bro, he's looking at a failed roster. He's looking at all the talent on this roster and look at what this man have put. Say what we want to about Ryan Poles. We're looking at these games we lost by. He's looking at these games we lost by a point, a blocked field goal, a missed assignment where somebody's not paying attention on a Hail Mary. He's looking at this team from the talent perspective, bro. That's what he's saying. This is a good team, man. Period. And he knows it. That's all he said. He's looking at it. He wanted the job. The $13 million was just the icing on the cake because the Bears were gonna have to pay to get him. Like there was never gonna be no like BS, no playing around with this guy, like trying to lowball him. Like you had to pay him. Like that's the hot commodity nowadays. Just like quarterbacks, the high young coaches, he's gonna cost. They gonna hop up in the top 10 nowadays. I'm pretty sure Aaron Glenn finna be making over $10 million a year. I'm pretty sure taking that jet job when it all come out. I'm pretty sure he'll be making over $10 million a year.
And I'm gonna say this about Aaron Glenn. I'm not. If I'm a Jets fan, I'm not excited about that. That's just me. You gave up. I know you had injuries on your defense. You gave a 45 to the Commanders. I'm not excited about that. Like when everybody was healthy, he was cool. But when you get injuries, you giving up 45. No, I'm good. I need when I got injuries that you can still be competitive. I don't need my defensive coordinator when injuries happen to give up 45. That's just me. But to what he had to say in the press conference, man. Me personally, $13 million not icing on the cake. I think they overpaid to get their guy. and like I do believe they. To your point, they did have to do that, but I think that was a big reason why he jumped. He jumped. I think he do honestly like Chicago. For him to say he been coming to Cubs game for over 10 years. If I was in Detroit, that would be a red flag. You're not going to see the Cubs 10 years. Like, yo, hold on, bro. You better start learning about the Tigers. I don't care if they trash. Like, now you're not going to keep going to Chicago every year. Like, that's too much.
We a great city though, man. We a good place to kick it. We live here, but it's great kicking it is.
And the Cubs are the Cubs are up and coming the last couple of years. You know, they building back towards up. You know, they got some of the young prospects coming up. And Wrigley Field is just a vibe, bro. It's just a vibe, bro.
It's a vibe.
It's just a vibe.
I don't want my OC when my offense doing well in Chicago. I don't need that. No.
Not even on his off day, he can't go to Chicago.
Right.
Hey, bro. Hey, Dan Campbell kind of spoke on this. Like, if you would go back to his press conference at the end of the year last year, he thought he was losing his guys then, so he knew this day was ultimately coming. Like, they stuck around one more year because the jobs. I'm serious. Ben Johnson stuck around one more year because he wanted to be the Bears coach, bro. I'm telling you, that's why he been coming to Chicago for 2 years prior. He knew Eberflus was not gonna get the job done. He just waiting in the wings, bro. And like the timing lined up, bro, and everything worked out perfect.
All right, let me ask y'all a question around the horn real quick. Brian, I'm coming to you first. Do you believe Dan Campbell knew that he was coming to Cubs games 10 years straight? I don't believe he did.
I don't think he knew, but I think Dan Campbell, he seemed confident enough that, hey, you know, if it's that easy, you can have him. You know what I'm saying? I think he trusted his guys, and his trust ultimately played off because he could have left him last year, and he didn't. So even if he knew, I think he wasn't too worried about it. He knew again, like we speak about, when you're not when you're not a offensive caller or a defensive caller and don't want either one of those sides of the ball excel, you know that those coordinators are going. So regardless if he was coming to Chicago or staying in Detroit, he was out of there eventually, as long as this team was excelling at the rate that they were.
That's a good point. That's a good point. Maru, do you believe he knew he was going 10 years straight though? 10 years?
I don't think
Not at all. Not at all. He would have had that. We gotta have a meeting, bro. We gotta have a meeting. It's too much. But one thing I think worked in Ben Johnson's favor. They never showed him like on the big screen or nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like wherever he was at, if it was a suite or whatever, it was low key. So it worked out for him. Ralph, do you believe that that Dan Campbell knew he was going every year?
Yeah, I believe he knew. Here's a reality. Here's a reality. Dan Campbell, even though he was talking about biting knees, he wants to be like any other head coach. He wants to build his own tree. So the reality of it is he knew Ben Johnson was going to leave. He knew Aaron Glenn was going to leave. He knew it. I believe he knew. Like, you work with a coworker. Your coworker go to Chicago for a weekend for a Cubs series. They're going to tell you about it. I think he knew. He probably – now, I don't know if Dan Campbell read into it as the perfect timing, like my man said with Eberflus and everything. I didn't even think about that till my man just said. I'm like, he did that perfectly. He knew what he was doing. I never thought about that, but I'm sure they knew. I mean, he probably just loved the Cubs. He looked like a North Sider here. I mean, he looked like he'll fit in up there. I'm not being stereotypical, but he looked like them guys that go to the Cubs games. I'm just saying, you know.
Yeah, bro. But the button, he looked like he fit in coming out of work with the button-up shirt on and the Dockers and some. You know what I'm saying? Like he looks like one of those guys right there, bro. Definitely North Side. He definitely not trying to categorize. And I get what you're saying, but we just being honest with how it goes. He looks like a North Sider.
Oh,
yeah, he does.
Definitely.
Do you think Dan Campbell knew he was going every year to go see the Cubs?
Absolutely, bro. Absolutely, bro. Like Dan Campbell, bro, is the kind of cool guy. He knew Ben Johnson was eventually gonna get a head coaching job, bro. The guy just like we said, bro. The Lions, bro, have led the NFL in scoring 2 consecutive years, bro. The Lions, bro.
Yeah. Okay.
They got 27. The Lions got 27 wins the last 2 years, bro. They had 27 wins in 6 years prior total.
Okay.
Mhm.
Just
Yeah.
checking in. We talking about the Bears' new head coach. Y'all make sure y'all share the live and comment, and we'll get to the comment.
Hold on, Vic. Give me that stat one more time. What you say?
The stat.
I
They
said,
had
bro, they had the last 2 years they had 27 wins combined. The 3 years before that, they had 9 wins. They had 6-6.
Damn,
That's crazy.
that's a crazy
That's
stat.
That's crazy,
crazy.
bro. Crazy. His offense. Hey, literally, they showed like, bro, they said before Ben Johnson got there, they was scoring like 17 points a game. They said even that season when they went down and they didn't make it, they was putting up like 28 points a game. The last year it was 30. This year, the season prior to 23, it was 30. This year they put up 32 points a game, bro. The Detroit Lions. That's crazy.
We
That's
can't even score
crazy.
a touchdown in the first half in
Right.
Chicago.
Right.
Yeah.
Let me get my man Mike in real quick. Let me find out. Hold on, before we get him in, let me find out he came in at this time on purpose because he wanted to let us get all our Bears. I was gonna tell him that when he came on the show, like, yo, bro, we got a new head coach, man. You know, we excited. You know, we got some big news. You might have to wait a while before we get to the other stuff. You know what I'm saying? But I felt like he already knew. So he's like, you know what? I'm just gonna wait. You know, let them get all they man. What's going on, man? Thanks for joining the show, my brother.
What's up?
KC.
What's up, man? Nah, that wasn't the case, brother.
I was like, I'm gonna let them have their fun. You know, they happy. They new coach, man. I'm gonna let them get their talking off first, and then. But as I'm glad that you did come in at this time because with unbiased, just looking at the move from what you see, what are your thoughts about Ben Johnson being the head coach of the Bears?
Oh yeah, I think that's a nice move. You know what I'm saying? He was a hot coordinator, you know what I'm saying, sought after, everybody kind of wanted him. The Bears jumped in, probably treated him real good, you know what I'm saying? So I kind of like the move. I think the Bears need something like that. They need a little fresh start, a hot coordinator coming in. So I on the outside looking in, it looked like that's a good move so far. I kind of like the D coordinator hire too. That was nice getting Allen.
Dennis Allen. Let me ask you this though: it's reported that he's going to get paid 13 million as a first year head coach. Any thoughts about that number?
You say he getting 13 million?
That's the reports that he's going to pay 13 million a year as a first time head coach, and he's only under the likes of Andy Reid, Tomlin, a few other coaches, like 8 coaches that he's under. But other than that, he's been paid more than all the rest of them.
Yeah, I don't think that's a problem. I mean, hey, you got to pay the cost to be the boss, baby.
Right on, right on. Well, we go
Did,
go
Yeah,
ahead.
you
did
know what I'm
we did
saying. You,
we
you
did
ain't
we
want you ain't
officially?
want it, you ain't want him to go nowhere else. You know what I'm saying. You wanted him right here. With Caleb. So, you know, hey, they probably outbid everybody else.
I definitely think that's what happened. They overpaid to make sure he didn't leave. Go ahead, Ralph.
Did we officially hire defensive coordinator, or is that still?
Not
It's not
yet.
official. I don't think it's official yet,
It's
but
not official yet.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So
But let me say
I
this
think
though.
Dennis Allen still stalling out because I think he's still interviewing for head coaching jobs. I think he's still taking interviews for that. And
That's
then
what
when
I
I
thought.
think,
Okay.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
Oh,
that's why
okay.
I asked earlier. Since he's stalling, should we look at Brian Flores? Because he's
I
is
don't think Flores is not going to go D coordinator to D coordinator. If he's going to make a move, it's going to be for a head coaching position. You
but
know what I mean?
but reports was saying they were saying I forget where I was looking at, but they were saying like he's not getting any head coach for considerations at all. And
That's
But
so
you,
I read the same
they
thing.
But
never
but I
made.
don't, I don't think you can make a lateral move like that though.
yeah, under
You got.
contract. Yeah, under contract. Yep, you're right. You're right. Yep, under
mm,
Yeah,
contract.
But you know what though? I'm thinking now that I see KC, right? One thing I do like about this hire too is that he actually called the play. This was his offense. Remember we hired Nagy? We didn't know if
Pick the
this was
plays.
Andy Reid calling
Yep.
or if Nagy was calling. And ultimately, even though we had some good years with Nagy, it just didn't never we never looked like Kansas City. You know what I'm saying? So I like the fact that this guy is bringing in his scheme, his offense, and he calling the plays.
That's big.
And you don't got to be forced to call the plays. Even Flus didn't even want to touch the defensive coordinator opportunity when he came in. So I think all of those things are just like positives for this guy, man. I really like that, man. I really like that.
And that's big fact. I want to say this. I definitely think Matt Nagy got an opportunity because of Andy Reid. When you come from that coach, it don't matter if you was calling the plays. We want to know if you knew if you bit off that tree, can you replicate what Big Red was doing? That's all I wanted to see. Can he replicate it? So it didn't matter if he was calling the plays or not. You under that tree, come on in. And I don't think comparing Matt Nagy to Ben Johnson. I think Nagy did have a name, but it wasn't as hot as Ben Johnson.
Right. Yeah,
Hey,
because
we forgot to touch on one more thing though. Y'all know who the offensive coordinator of Detroit Lions when they sent our starting running back out to
it,
Philadelphia, right?
it was Ben
It was none
Johnson.
other than Ben Johnson,
Yep.
man.
And that's what I was going to talk about that because
Yeah.
I was reading something they were saying. I forgot who was the coordinator first, but they fired him, and that was one of the first moves he did. And it makes sense because in this draft, that kid from Boise State is available. And I was asking people, I said, "Would you see him? Can you picture him doing something like that?" And a lot of Lions fans was like, "Yeah." They said at the time Jameer Gibbs was available, they didn't want him, but then they see what he is now. So.
Well, I think when it comes to the Bears, if you're talking about getting rid of DeAndre Swift, I think it'd be a lot of money talk being involved. What the money look like as far as cap hits and all of that stuff when it comes to DeAndre Swift. Go ahead.
Yeah, he'll be here. He'll be here this season. This is the last year of his guaranteed money.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I thought. Let's go ahead
Yeah.
and get to the championship week, man. We got Chiefs versus Bills. A lot of talk been in the media, and I know, I'm gonna get a floor to KC, man, because there's been a lot of talk about the favorable calls going towards the Chiefs away from the last game. They won again. Patrick Mahomes had to address it. I seen something where even the refs had to get questioned about some of the calls that happened in the last game. How do you feel about the calls from last game, and how you feel about the Chiefs versus Bills this week?
Man, I think it's a loser mentality, man. You just keep talking about what everybody else is talking about. Nobody's coming up with their own real arguments. They just coming out like, oh, they getting all the calls. I'm like, are you really even watching the game? You know what I'm saying? I mean, really, are you really even watching the game, or you just going off of what somebody told you? Like even if it's a call that the Chiefs might get, everybody gets these calls. I watched the other games; it was calls left and right going both ways. Nobody talks about that. But when you win in Super Bowls, you win in championships, you sending people home, what's that? You making records on people. They anything you do, they gonna be mad. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna be upset. Then when they show, all these players and CJ Stroud complaining about the refs, then when they ask Pat Mahomes, I was at that game in 2019 against New England. It was a questionable call against Chris Jones, roughing the passer. But at the same time, you got to stop them. They didn't even complain about that. Pat Mahomes said nothing about no calls. He just said, hey, we got to do better. So you got to line up and, man, quit crying, man, and go get it, man. Because nobody talked about how you get sacked 8 times. How you miss 2 field goals, get blocked, and give up a 65-yard kick return on the opening kickoff? Like, the refs ain't did none of that. So I'm just tired of me personally as a fan coming from Kansas City. Anytime somebody come talk to me about the refs, I just stop talking to you, man. I'm not trying to hear none of that. Because even after that, you had plenty of opportunities to right your wrong or okay, hey, that was a bad call. Keep it moving. It wasn't like they just gave us the game after on a couple questionable calls, man. Knock it off.
So I'm gonna say this. I agree in the sense that those calls didn't make the outcome what it was. I don't. I think they still had an opportunity to win the game. I would say this: the calls were questionable. The one when he hit him in the chest, I thought that was a questionable call, and I felt like Pat Mahomes was playing around before he slid when they called that call. They gotta do something about that rule.
Yeah, they do.
It ain't
Yeah,
just
they
Pat
do.
Mahomes.
But that happens every week, man. That happens
It ain't
every week.
it ain't
And it's
just
just getting magnified because they trying to make history. Don't nobody you even see Humphrey just came out. Don't nobody want to see that, man. Hey, they tired, so they just put it out there like, oh, anytime the Chiefs do something now, it's a problem. Like, man, that's just to me, that's just bad. That's bad news for sports. But at the same time, you got to still go out there and stop them. Nobody's like nobody's to me. They're not showing favoritism. Not if anything, the rest is gonna start really siding with the Chiefs. Y'all keep talking about it. We might give them a couple extra calls now since y'all keep complaining and talking.
let me
Yeah,
and let me say this. When I look at trying to be the champion, I compare it to boxing. If you got a champion, you can't wait to go to the judges. You gotta take them out. That's my logic.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
gotta take the champs out. You gotta put your foot on their neck. You ain't waiting for the judges to hopefully give you a decision. You gotta put your foot on their neck. So if you get a call get against you, you gotta overcome that. You gotta overcome them and whatever other elements that comes with it. So when you beating the champion, you gotta put their foot on their neck. That's just my take.
Yeah,
and,
man, get
and,
out of
and
here
me
with
and
all
my
that
cousin,
whining, bro. I'm with you, bro.
man,
Get
me
out of
and
here
my
with all that
cousin,
whining,
me and my
man.
cousin, me and my cousin talk every day about the Chiefs. We've been talking about the Chiefs probably since we was 6 years old. You know what I'm saying? So we were at that game, championship game. Yes, Chris Jones, it was a bad call, but you had to line back up, and we couldn't stop Brady. We couldn't stop. We had additional three more third and tens that we couldn't get them off the field. That's nobody's fault. That's not the ref's fault.
Right.
And I'm glad
We
you
had we
said
had
that.
opportunity. We had opportunities to make plays, and they didn't.
And I'm glad you said that because I'm not a Chiefs fan. I'm a Bears fan, but I'm also a Bulls fan. And it wasn't to this magnitude, but when you dominate, like somebody said it earlier, if you talking like that before the game, you'd already lost because you already make an excuse that the refs go, no, don't leave it to the refs. Don't blink and make a play, win the game. And see, I was actually rooting for the Texans because I like to see, I think Mahomes is great, but I like to see when people push him. Like when Josh was a couple years ago in the 13 seconds, like you like to see your stars get pushed.
Yeah.
And for them to be crying, like, yes, the calls was questionable. But like you said, that didn't stop y'all from getting sacked 8 times. That didn't stop what happened? He made a bad play on fourth down and then they didn't call a timeout and it was so bad clock mismanagement and stuff. You couldn't stop Kelsey. He was wide open the whole game. So like you can't make these excuses. Y'all lost the game.
And my thing is this. I ain't gonna say this is the first time though that I got turned off by Pat Mahomes a little bit. When he did the flop out of bounds,
Yeah, I ain't like
that was
that.
the first
Yeah,
time I was like, all right,
yeah,
no,
yeah.
I never seen him do that before. I get he was trying to get a call. I didn't like it personally. That was the first time I got turned off by Pat Mahomes. Up until this point, he did nothing. Like he can't control nothing else. But when he did the flop, it was some LeBron stuff going on there. Like stop it.
Yeah.
Come on, man. Come on,
See,
stop it.
see, can I say something about it though? Like, I think it's more like, well, y'all ever see that clip where the ref called a foul on Mike or didn't call the foul, and he was like, "You think that was a foul, Mike?" And Mike was like, "Yeah." And they say, "Yeah, Pat is the goat right now." If Pat say he got hit, he got hit. They gonna throw the flag on the next play. Believe that. So I think it's something. It's something like I'm playing, but I'm serious at the same time, though, man. Like, you know what I mean? I think it's like that, man. You the goat. Hey, the goat says a foul is a foul, man.
And the
Straight
crazy
up.
part is he didn't even say it was a foul. It just looked like a foul. I mean, it looked like a foul. It's a foul. Big go ahead, man. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, man, he was wilding with that, man. I was over here laughing. I was over here laughing so hard. I was like, bro, I just found it funny. I couldn't even hold it against him, bro. It was just funny. He tried to pull it, bro. You know what I'm saying? He tried to pull it. It is what it is, man. You know what I'm saying?
But they all
That was
do
the
it
first
though.
time.
They all do it. When you will see them push,
That,
and then they'll push one another, and then one of them will just flop. And
bro,
they all
that was
do
the
it. But I'm not excusing them, but they all do it.
that was the first time I seen Pat do
Him
it.
do it, yeah.
I never seen him do that before.
No, I
But
never saw him do that before either. No.
drastic causes cause for drastic measures. He was trying to win by any means necessary. So I get it, but the flop was just so ridiculous, man. Like, oh my god, come on, man. Hey, Ralph, man, what you think about the Chiefs versus the Bills and the refs' possible influence?
Honestly, like my man from Kansas City, like that was the first time I heard a fan like literally made me say, okay, you're right. Like if you could take what they did in 2019 and you could live with that, you take the good with the
Right.
bad. Like I said,
Right.
now, like you say, he flopped 100%. That was weak. And the dancing around before he slid. I heard that they're talking about in their offseason meetings they're going to add instant replay to the unnecessary roughness calls. You have that option to challenge the call.
Yes.
I don't know how that's going to play out because it's still a lot of opinion based stuff. But um, outside of the Bears, I've always loved the Bills from when I was a kid when they went to the Super Bowl 4 years in a row. I love Jim Kelly, Thurman Thomas, Bruce Smith. I loved them. So I would love to see Buffalo get past Kansas City. I think they got the piece this year to possibly beat Kansas City. But somebody, I think it was Vicker, somebody said, if y'all don't stick Kelsey and leave him open all
Bro,
game,
bro, the
y'all not
whole
gonna be
game.
like all
I'm, in,
game. You gonna leave him open? He the number one tight end in the league. But I think Buffalo has a defense that could slow Kansas City. I think it's gonna be a good game, but I honestly think that the whole referee thing, I think that's all propaganda and hype. You, like he said, like you really gonna piss the refs off. A good friend of mine, Mike. I guess I should invite him on the show. He's an NFL referee,
mm,
and like just the rules and like the training that he goes through when I'm talking to him.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, they're well compensated, but still, like they not out there trying to pick favoritism. Trust me, they got too much money being put in their bank. They're not trying to jeopardize their job. They doing the
Right.
best they can. What they got. They in real time. We get the TV. We sit down and watch the replays. I mean, they call in real time. I don't think it's the refs. Like somebody said, you got your foot on their neck. You finished them off. They're the champs.
Let's.
Houston didn't do it. They didn't
I,
do it.
Yeah, bro. I hate when
Just let
people go.
Kelsey do what he want to do.
Yeah, I hate when people go to the media with complaining about the referees and stuff. I call that like whining fanny. You know what I'm saying? Fan and whiny, bro. I hate when fans whine, bro. Like, oh, just your team lost, bro. Like,
Yep.
don't stop blaming the referees. I just hate that. I always have, bro. Ever since I first started watching sports. Because my grandfather's embedded in my head. They are human. They're gonna make mistakes. They're gonna miss calls. So you gotta overcome that. You gotta overcome all that. The great ones do. It is what it is. I've seen some bad calls go against the Chiefs. Nobody never says nothing about the bad calls that go against them. I'm not a Chiefs fan. We all know I'm a Bears fan. I've seen bad calls go against the Packers as a Bear fan. You know what I'm saying? I'm just being honest. I've seen bad calls go against everybody. It happens. They mess up. It happens.
so let's go ahead and make the predictions, man. Mike, I'm coming to you first, even though I know who you got already. But at least you can give us a score. Maybe we'll be intrigued by the score. We already know who you're going with, but the question is the score going to intrigue us? What does Mike have for the final score?
Man, I've been talking to myself about that all week, man. You know, it's like Buffalo. They they're like neck and neck with the Chiefs. You know what I'm saying? They just haven't got over the hump in the playoffs, but they always give us their best shot, right? And you know, history is kind of like against them right now, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, to me, it's a lot of pressure on Josh Allen and them. I don't think a lot of pressure's on Pat Mahomes. I mean, they don't won the last two Super Bowls. I mean, they playing with house money, in my opinion. Like, because if Josh loses this, then he's 0-4 against Pat Mahomes. If he loses this, then you didn't get an MVP. You didn't go to the Super Bowl. It's like it's so much. You know what I'm saying? You had them last year. Everybody had the Chiefs on the road last year. Baltimore and Buffalo didn't get it done. Now you got to go back to Kansas City and try to beat these guys again. Man, that's tough. Man, that's a tough sled. But I'm taking the Chiefs. I want to. Hey, man, my heart. I want to hang about 38 on these boys. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
That's just me. I want to hang about 38 to 20. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause I'm gonna be there. But
right.
realistically, I'm gonna scale it back. I'm gonna say about 27, 24. I think it's gonna be a tight possession. Might go to overtime. It just always ends up like that. So I'm gonna say 27, 24 Chiefs.
27-24 Chiefs. And you made me go look at the weather to see it's going to be 32 supposed to be game time weather. That's definitely
Yeah,
Fair enough.
it'll drop because the game's at 5:30, so it'll probably be in the 20s. You
Yeah,
know, mid 20s.
I think they'll be all right. So 27-24 Chiefs, says Mike. Okay, let's go around the horn. Vic, Chiefs versus Bill. Is this the year that Josh Allen get over the hump?
Hey, bro, I don't bet against Pat Mahomes, bro. I don't bet against Pat Mahomes. I don't bet against Pat Mahomes, bro. I don't do it. You know what I'm saying? So no, not for me. Not for me. Now he could. So I'm not saying I don't think he could personally. I don't think he could. I just think they can score some points. I think my prediction on the score is 35-28 Chiefs. I think the Buffalo gonna be able to put some points up. The Chiefs gonna be able to put some points up finally. And I think it's gonna be they're gonna go at it, bro. They're gonna go at it.
All right, 35-31 Chiefs. That's two Chiefs. Ralph, Chiefs versus Bills.
I'm gonna say Bills 31, Chiefs 27.
Hey,
I like Josh Allen. I think he could do it this year. I think he could do it.
okay. So that's one for the Bills. Brian, Chiefs versus Bills. I think I know where you're going to because you said it plenty of times on the show too. Go ahead and say it
Yeah,
again.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm going for Chiefs. Chiefs right now. That's my homeboy, man. Should have been a Bear. That's the one that got away. So I'm rooting for him. Hey, look though. You know what I was realizing, man? Like it's this era right now. Lamar and Josh Allen are like Peyton Manning and Drew Brees in the Tom Brady era. You know, it's not that they're bad quarterbacks. It's not that they not like that. It's just you got one of the all-time greats in your division, and he busted. He kicking butt and taking names along the way. I hope that the Chiefs don't go into this thinking that they got house money, though. I want them to still have that same fight. Like, hey, we going for something historic, and we may not ever get this opportunity to do something like this again. Let's take this 3 and then maybe shoot for 4. But because I feel like Josh has a lot of momentum. Like Ralph said, that Bills D is nasty right now. They healthy. They just shut down one of the best teams in the league, so they feeling themselves. So, but again, Chiefs. I don't got no score for you. Just give me the Chiefs, and we'll see who they get in the Super Bowl.
Okay. Chiefs. So that's that 3 for the Chiefs. 3 for the Chiefs. All right, Gene. Chiefs versus Bills.
I think it's gonna be Chiefs 27-24. I love Josh Allen. I think when you're great, seeing Patrick Mahomes doing what he do, it's just a calling. And so to me, I always think of it like Jordan. It's cool because for the people like my daughter, we watch all these games now. She's 14, and so I'm explaining to her what greatness is. Greatness is also adjusting your game to win the game because it's not about stats; it's about winning the game. And it's cool to see how Josh Allen has matured into not being as reckless, and it's also cool to see what Mahomes did as far as his transition to being the actual quarterback. And so he do like yes, he's not going to have great stats like Lamar and all that, but he does just enough to what win the game. That's the objectivity of the playoffs. Advance, win in advance. And so it seems like he obviously since Tom Brady, he's circling that and embodying that. And so I just don't see them beating him. I think Josh Allen is great. I think Josh Allen is actually there with him. But I think because of him, Mahomes, and Kelsey, and Andy Reid and Spagnola, I think that it's gonna be just too much for him.
So another one for the Chiefs. So that's a 1, 2, 3. That's 4-1 so far. And I'm going to round it out. I got the Chiefs. Winning 31-28. 31-28 Chiefs. And I think the key is the Chiefs defense. Like, that defense, man, is they be putting in work. Like Chris Jones, we already know he's a problem, but we got McDuffie at the corner, starting to be a household name on the corner spot. Karlofskis would have had 3 sacks last game. Like, Chiefs defense is a problem. I think it's gonna, but I think Josh Allen is gonna do everything in his power to win that game. It's probably gonna be like that 13-second game. You know, whoever got the ball last. You know, because Josh Allen is I don't think he's going to make the mistake. A part of me want to see him lose to see if they're going to give him the same smoke that they give Lamar Jackson to. A part of me want to see if when he lose, are they going to give him the same smoke that they give Lamar Jackson? Because he's in the same boat, in my opinion. He might not got the MVPs, but as far as expectations as being a great quarterback and not being able to get over that hump, I want to see if the media going to give Josh Allen that same smoke. But, yeah, I got the Chiefs over the Bills, man. So,
next week, I want all you guys to say, Ralph, you were right. All five of you say, Ralph, you were right.
Everybody got to come back home next week if Bills win.
Yep.
That's the thing.
Hey,
Keep that same energy.
That sounds good.
Same energy.
That sounds good.
All right. Let's move on. NFC Championship game, man. Real quick, man. I'm gonna go first, man, because I can't see Jaden Daniels winning this game. I know he been balling now. It's hard. He keep proving us wrong, but I think this is where the buck stops right here. This is where it ends, man. Jalen Carter is a problem in that middle, man. And you talk about the one that got away. That's one that got away too.
Yes.
Defense, I think Philly's defense is besides Saquon, that's the next best thing that's been keeping them rolling. The offense ain't been balling like that to me.
No, man, Jalen Hurts been bad, bro.
Yeah. So that defense and Saquon been playing out of his mind, and I don't think Washington defense is not that great. And I think the way Saquon balling right now, like I got the Eagles not because of Jalen Hurts in the passing game, but because of Saquon in that defense. So I got the Jaden Daniels had a great season, went to the AFC Championship game. Congratulations, Rookie of the Year, you did your thing, but the buck stopped here. Philly, KC, Super Bowl. Let's see who want to go first. Anybody can go first now. At this
I got
point.
the Eagles, bro. I got the Eagles, man. Saquon is just gonna be too tough for them to stop. And that defense, like you said, Jalen Carter and that defense, that Philly defense been great. Gardner Johnson and Schley, those guys been playing good on that back end. You know what I'm saying, bro? Like the Eagles defense been good in the running game. That's how you win the playoffs. You play good defense and you run the ball and you limit your turnovers. And they got the best running back going right now. They got the best running back still left in the playoffs right now.
That is a true statement. That's two Eagles. Who else?
I'm going with the Commanders. I'm sorry.
Wow.
I'm a Jay Daniels fan. I thought we should have drafted Jaden. Jaden putting on the show, man, and he's carrying a team that the defense is ranked 18th. So it's really because they were trying to compare him to other rookies that made it to the NFC to the championship games. Those rookies also had top tier defenses. His defense is below average. And so seeing what he's doing is awesome. And you seeing like he's right now playing as I'm not saying he's the best quarterback. He's playing the best out of the quarterbacks right now in the playoffs. So I think I know the Eagles probably win, but I root for Jade, so I'm gonna go with Jade with the Commanders, bro.
So is that more of a field than heart than head pick? Like
yes, heart and head. Yeah, my head says the Eagles, but my heart said I want the Commanders to win. So
you want Jaden Daniels to win, but you really believe the Eagles gonna win.
Yeah, I really do believe they're gonna win.
I don't even know about that like that. I would say I think I'm gonna say 3 Eagles because in reality he believes the Eagles gonna win. So Ralph, where you at, man? Ralph?
I think you put it perfectly. Like what Jaden Daniels is doing, what Washington's doing is phenomenal. All kudos to him, but I think it ends here. Like they don't have that Super Bowl caliber team. Like Philadelphia's got the team. I just don't. I think I ain't gonna call it luck. I just think their time has run out. Unless something crazy happens, I'm saying Philadelphia 24-14.
27-14, and he gave us a score. Brian, are you the only one that didn't? Mike, and I know Mike didn't pick yet. Brian, who you got?
I'm going Eagles too. I want somebody to whoop Jaden so bad. I don't know why I don't like this guy. Is it because they keep comparing him to my quarterback? But it got to stop now. I need it to end. I need to run to stop. I need history to stop. But I like, dude. I think you know what we talk about the Eagles D, but how have they fared against a mobile quarterback? Because nobody really talks about how this boy using his legs to escape some of these things. So I'm gonna give it to the Eagles, but I think this is gonna be one of the best games of the playoffs. A division game
Yeah,
for the rights to go to the Super Bowl.
yeah.
Hey, it might be some fights on the side. This is gonna get chippy, man. I'm looking forward to this.
You made a good point. The Commanders came back on the Eagles the last game. I know Jalen Hurts got injured that game, but he did come back on that defense to win that game. So that mobile quarterback thing could be an issue for real. KC, who you want to see? Yo, Chiefs go to the Super Bowl. Who you want to see, or who you think gonna win?
Um, I I got the Eagles, like you said. You know what I'm saying? My mind is, is like, hey, the Eagles, they got everything they want. On paper, they look good. Saquon, I mean, that was a great pickup for the Eagles, by the way. But it's just something about Jay Daniels right now. I just kind of want to see the rookie do something, man. It's
Mhm.
like, it's like a fresh start. Now I can see how people, are hating on the Chiefs. Like, hey, man, we tired of seeing the Chiefs. Want to
Yeah,
see somebody else or something like that. I'm not saying I'm tired of seeing the Eagles, but I think the Commanders, they came out of nowhere, man. I think it's just fresh and exciting that, they going to these places. What they say, they walking over your trap, taking over your trap. They done went to Tampa. They done went to Detroit. Hey, keep that train going, man. But
I picked against
I'm a stand on it, man. I'm gonna take the Commanders. I'm gonna take the Commanders 33-27. I
33.
think they're gonna shock the world. It's gonna be KC and Washington in the Super Bowl.
KC, that's gonna be an easy. Now, I ain't gonna say that'll be an easy Super Bowl for the Chiefs either. They probably won't. It probably won't. Jaden is a problem. Jaden Daniels is a problem. But I feel you, Brian. I feel you. Like, yo, I think if he continue to win, it stings with the Bears. But I think because we so high with Ben Johnson right now, like we can get past it. But if we didn't get a new coach, like we would be sick to our stomach having to watch
Mm,
Jaden Daniels go to he's go to Super Bowl. We'd be sick to our stomach. But because we got a
man.
coach, I think it's gonna subside. Like if he was to win, it's like all right, we mad, but we got
And, hey
more.
man, let Jaden go do his thing, bro. It ain't like
And
Caleb
look,
ain't fit to have a big year next year and show everybody who he is. So they both can shine. Jaden, go do your thing. Both guys can shine. I've said that from the
for
beginning.
sure.
I don't feel that the Bears missed out on anything. Kudos to Mr. Jaden Daniels, rookie of the year. I feel that. I still feel that the Bears took their guy, the right guy. That's just me. I'm not gonna waver on that.
If we let me ask you this, Vic. If we still had Eberflus or Thomas Brown, how would you you still have that same energy? I'm just asking because I don't.
No, bro. We had even Flus and Thomas Brown, Jaden Daniels being hurt week 3, and we had to worry about him.
I'm talking. No, I'm talking about. I'm talking about if we didn't have Ben Johnson, if we was stuck in purgatory with the coach selection, or say we picked the wrong coach. Let's say we like you. Would you still like Jaden Daniels go do your thing, or would you have a little animosity about what is going on and why? Because me personally, I'll be mad. I'll be a little mad. That's just me.
Nah, bro. That ain't my makeup.
Okay. Okay. I feel you, Brian. I'm with you, brother.
Yeah. Hey, I've been hating on the Packers since Aaron Rodgers. Jordan Love, he got the hate. The Lions, Matthew Stafford. I go down the list, man. I've been hating for a while. Lamar Jackson falling, Patrick Mahomes. Man, look, I love Patrick, but I mean, I've been hating because I've been watching all these quarterbacks succeed, and year after year, I haven't been able to get in on the fun. So hopefully, we do got the right coach, got the right quarterback, and we can join the party, man. See what it's like for a change, man.
Go
Can
ahead,
I
Ryan.
ask? Can I ask a quick question?
Yes.
It
So
was
in the Detroit game Sunday, that play they ran where they handed it off and then pitched it back and then gave it to the wide receiver. Did y'all think? I didn't know that was a legal play at first. I was like, was that legal? Like it
It's
was
all
so
behind the
no.
creative.
line of scrimmage. Yeah,
Yep.
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 it's all
I
behind
saw
the
it,
line
but
of
I was like, it
scrimmage.
is legal. But I was like, he's so creative. I
Yeah.
ain't never seen a play like that before.
Mm-mm.
He shouldn't have thrown the ball though. He
No,
should
no,
have
no,
just
not
Yeah.
that play. The one
No, you
where
talk about the one where they
Say
pitched
Brown
it
ran.
to. Yeah,
oh
they
the
pitched
end
it
around.
to.
Yeah,
I
They
think
handed
it
yeah,
was
off the
yeah.
pitch
Gears.
to St.
I think
Brown.
they pitched it to Gears, and Amon Roberts coming down the line. They pitched to him, and he hit it to middle.
Yeah.
Yep. As long as it's a
Yeah,
backwards pass, it's legal. It ain't no four lateral. It's legal.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah. As long as
When it
yeah.
happened, I was like, dang. That was pretty clever.
Just
I don't
think,
know.
I'm
Man,
gonna
but
say this:
the
the
player of the year
defense.
that I liked about Ben Johnson is when he faked the Bears out like dude was
The
golfing
fumble.
and Gibbs were both about to fall down on him. Like I said,
Ooh,
oh wow. Oh
come on,
yeah,
that was
I
a
that's
mean,
how
fumble.
he is, bro. He
that
had
was
to do me like
nasty
he
work
had to
right
stun
there.
my team like that, bro.
But
He
That
kept
was
doing it,
nasty
but hey,
work
the
right
fact
that
there.
was
that
a
the
sign to the
fact that he
Bears like,
took that.
hey, bro, that was a sign to the Bears like,
bro.
you want this? Do you
Yep.
want this?
Yep.
You
That's
want
what it
this
But he
was.
going
said
against you, or do you want this on your sideline?
It was
Bro,
a
he
But
said
sign.
it,
look
man.
though,
He
the
said in the
fact that
press
he took
conference,
that
bro.
from
In
a
the press
busted
conference,
play the week before when the Packers did it.
that's
The
what he
Packers
said.
messed
Yep.
it up and it worked. And he used it against us again.
yeah.
Like this, man, this dude crazy. He watching everything.
Bro,
That's
he
He
what he
got
watching
said.
everything.
He said in
got
the
people
press
saying
conference that was the Matt
actors.
LaFleur special. That's what he said in the press conference. He said that was his Matt LaFleur special. So he's constantly throwing at
Mm,
them. You know what I'm saying? But
I'm
let me say this real quick.
yeah.
The reason I want Jaden to win is to motivate our quarterback and our team
mm.
because it's like this is possible, y'all. Y'all just gotta get in and do the work. Get in and be with it.
And
So
we
that's
know how quarterbacks are joined at the hip, especially when they're in the same draft.
mm-hmm.
You know, we think about the Peyton Mannings and the Ryan Leafs. You know how that ended up. But when quarterbacks in the same draft, they always get compared to each other. So I definitely see what you're saying as far as the motivation.
Hey,
But
hey, I want to say something.
yeah,
If Jalen Hurts don't get himself together, and if that boy somehow turns that ball over,
yeah,
I'm not really looking at Washington as the 18th ranked defense. I mean, they just a good defensive unit that's coming together in the playoffs. So I kind of throw the numbers out. You know what I'm saying? This is a divisional game. They're gonna be going at it. Now, if Hurts can't deliver that ball, because I don't think he threw over 200 yards the last couple of games, man. He been kind of letting Saquon and let the defense take over. But this might be a game where he's gonna have to come and deliver the football. And if he can't deliver the football,
yeah.
Jay Daniels don't have no, he ain't got no mercy, man. They
And
going for it on fourth down. They
yeah,
doing whatever they can right now. So I think that'd be a lot of pressure on Hurts and to
Hey,
get
hey, Mike,
for
I
them to
gotta
get back to the
disagree
Super
with you on
Bowl.
one thing, Mike. I gotta disagree with you on
What's
one
up?
thing,
What's
bro.
up?
The
What's up?
Commanders defense is not coming together, bro. They just gave up 200 yards rushing to the Lions last week, bro, and 300 yards passing. If it wasn't for the turnovers,
I mean, but
they'd have got
they
cooked.
caused five
That defense is
turnovers.
not coming together,
It
bro. I'm
ain't.
sorry, I have to disagree with you on that. The numbers are
Nah,
there to
what I'm
provide what
saying
I'm saying.
is
That defense is not coming together, bro. The Eagles about to run that ticket up on them, bro. I'm telling you.
I mean,
The Eagles
that's
about to run
cool.
that
That's
ticket up on that
cool.
defense, bro. I'm
hold on.
telling y'all.
I'm gonna
You
say
heard
this.
it right
Hey,
here.
I kind of feel like you know what I'm saying that weather kind of saved the Eagles last week. You know what I'm saying? They didn't have no mobile quarterback. Stafford just a sitting duck. You're not gonna have that this week.
Yeah.
You're not gonna have that this week. Even if it is some elements out there, I think Jake Daniels can move around and extend the plays that Stafford and them couldn't do.
And I'm gonna say this, like,
But back then the Lions don't have the Eagles defensive line, bro. The
let me say,
Lions don't have the Eagles, but they don't have Jaden Carter. They didn't have
Nah,
Aiden
it don't.
Hutchinson.
It
The
don't. I
Lions
mean, it's
defense
what
sucked. So we had to quit comparing it to the last game, bro. They're going against the Eagles. The Eagles are what, number 2 defense in the NFL overall?
but they beat them though. They
but
beat them already.
And it's a
They beat them
division
though.
game.
he
It's a
said they not.
division game, though.
He said they not
Exactly.
coming together. He said they not coming together because they gave up so many points against the Lions. But the Lions was a high powered offense as well, and Philly is not playing high powered offense right now. So I think that bodes well for the Washington defense. They might not be that great, but I don't think like right now Philly is one dimensional. To Mike's credit, he ain't thrown over 200 yards the last couple of games, and so I think the Commanders' defense might not be great, but Philly's offense is not great. They're one dimensional right now. Now that one dimension is great right now, but in football, when you're one dimensional, usually great coaches can shut that down. But we're going to see, can Dan Quinn, who's a defensive guy, can he put up a game plan to shut down somebody that's heavily reliant on the running game? So we're gonna see what happens. We're gonna see what happens. I want to get to this last story real quick because we went over a little bit. And Jimmy Butler, man, I want to talk some basketball, man. Jimmy Butler is on the verge of
Oh my God.
ended again, man. According to Shams, man, he missed the team flight and had plans to join the Heat tonight, but they said, no, just stay home, man, for the 2-game road trip. I just want to ask y'all real quick, man. How's this going to end? Because Pat Riley from the old school, he got like a mob mentality. Like I tell you right now, I'm rooting for Pat Riley to stick to his guns. I'm rooting for Pat Riley to not budge. I'm rooting for Pat Riley to stick it to Jimmy. Like I'm tired of it, bro. Like these players, because they don't get what they want. You're under contract. This is not football where the money is not guaranteed. Your money guaranteed. You got a player option after this year, and you want to re-up. And they looking at your age like, nah, bro, maybe if you played and played well, they'll think about it. But you causing all these problems like Pat Riley, like, no, I wish he would stick to Jimmy and stick to his guns. My question is, who's gonna blink first? Is Pat Riley gonna give in, or is he gonna keep suspending him, taking his money, and let Jimmy decide, is he gonna pick up that option or going to free agency? Is Jimmy gonna be on a roster for the rest of the season, or will Pat Riley trade him? That's my question to y'all. Ralph, what you think first, man? Who wins, Pat or Jimmy?
I think Pat could win. I don't think he will. I think Jimmy gonna win. The reason why, in my old negative age, I think society caters to these young guys as it is. Like, I grew up using certain words and calling people certain things, and now at my job, I get called into the office for using what's called the R word. I didn't know that was a whole thing until.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know that. But anyway, I think Pat is old school, but I don't think he's going to win because he has to look at the big picture. If he trades Jimmy now, let's just say a team does call. I don't know. Let's just say a team calls who can use him, and they offer him a first round and maybe a second round or 2 second rounds. He might take it just to get that cancer out of there. Because if I'm not mistaken, Miami got a good team. They not
decent.
bad.
They decent.
They decent. They're in the playoff picture.
Championship. They ain't winning the championship. I'm like this. You're not winning the championship. I know we're not winning the championship. If I'm Pat Riley, I know we're not winning the championship. And if I can't get a championship roster, I'm sticking it to you. Or if I feel like I'm a trade you, I'm trading you to Timbuktu. That's just me. I'm sending you to. But okay, so one for Pat, one for Jimmy. Okay, Vic, what you think?
Yeah, I'm with you, bro. Pat, I want Pat to see stick it to Jimmy. I have been telling Chicago Bulls fans about Jimmy Butler years and years and years ago, bro. Like, he's a diva, always have been. I gave him the nickname Hollywood Jimmy because I remember going to games and just see how, like, at the end of these games when he was still here and Derrick Rose was coming back, how he would be so standoffish, like, hurry up, walking on the court. And then Joe Kim had to bust him out, say, like, yeah, man, he had his own spot where he got dressed away from the team and all that. Like, I've never been a Jimmy Butler fan like that. So, yeah, I want somebody to finally stand up to this dude and be like, dude, enough is enough. You getting paid, like you said. You getting paid, bro. Knock it off. Nobody about to give you $60 million, bro. You like 36 years old, I think, something like that, 35, something. You're not getting $60 million a year, bro. Cut it out. Pick up that option if you wanted to and go out there and play hard, bro, and get your money. Nobody's about to give you $60 million, bro. Even when you hit free agency, you're not getting that. No team can give you that.
Two for Pat, one for Jimmy. Mike, where you at?
I'm gonna ride with the OG, man. I'm gonna ride with Pat, man. I'll be to send Jimmy to Portland somewhere. You know what I'm talking about? Hey, man, get up out of here, man. You know, so I got a nice young nucleus down there. I don't need that cancer on the squad, man. I'm not giving him what he want. I'm sending that boy straight to Portland or well, I don't know about Charlotte, but yeah, I might send him to Charlotte, man.
All right.
But yeah, I'm gonna ride. Yeah, I'm gonna ride with Pat.
Pat, another one for Pat. Brian, where you at?
So I think it's like a two-legged race with this one. I think Jimmy might get what he want up front and get out of Miami, but like you say, Pat gonna send him to Timbuktu or wherever, and I don't think he'll get another job in the NBA. If you a guy that ruins a relationship with a guy like Pat Riley, whose arms extend way further than Miami, I think this would be the last time we see Jimmy Butler in the NBA. I'm serious. You know what I'm saying? Because it's guys like this. Why Melo ain't in the league then? If I'm gonna give somebody $60 million, I know Melo will still put up 30 a game, maybe 20. But I'm just saying, Jimmy's an overachiever. It's time for him to step down. He's trying to get that last payday. I don't see that happening. So I'm gonna say Jimmy wins the battle, but ultimately Pat Riley wins the war.
He won't get another job. It'd be hard for me to see some coaches that thinking he can change Jimmy's way. But Jimmy done burned like 4-5 bridges at this point. He
Everywhere he go, he did it here.
Yeah.
He did it in Minnesota. He did it in Philly.
Yeah.
And then, damn, you can't even make it work with Pat. And the culture that they have is what you've been preaching. Oh man, yeah. Why would we take you? What? And you're not even a efficient scorer. You're a good player, but you don't move the needle like you may think, Jimmy Butler.
It got
And then once he did that stuff with his hair too,
that bubble
it
finals
did me.
appearance and that stuff got that man head all gassed up, bro. He think he wasn't them guys. That bubble finals appearance and that other finals appearance got this guy all gassed up like he's just one of the 50 greatest players ever, bro. And he not. And he not.
I think it'll take a special roster to bring him on. It would have to be a veteran roster that can control themselves, whether than a coach have to do it. Like it have to be some veterans like, yo,
Dallas or something, Denver.
Yeah, don't come now. Russ will probably, but Russ work hard, so I don't know. Gene, what you think, bro?
I'm a Jimmy Butler fan, but man, I'm so sick of Jimmy, bro. So I think it's gonna be Pat Riley because you got to think about it, bro. Like you older, you barely play. Like he didn't even play like the last 30 games. I forgot what the number was. I'm just sitting there, I'm like, bro. And then your opt-in is $52 million, I think. So, bro, trust me, I love Jimmy Butler. You're not $52 million player, bro. Come on.
No.
Not at all.
No, so
Not at all.
Steph Curry, though, bro. You not again. You are. I love what you do, what you are, but that's not you, bro. You're not averaging 25. Like you carried the team to the finals. I give you that, but you're not showstopper, bro. So nah, and I'm so sick of him because it's this era, and this is why the ratings are down because you got all this stuff happening, all this 3-point shooting and stuff like this. So I'm with y'all. Pat Riley, take care of him, bro. Get him up out of there.
We gonna see what happens, man. Trade deadline is coming up, I believe, and we're gonna see what calls get made to see if he gets shipped. See if who blinks first. But man, we about to get up out of here, man. I appreciate all y'all coming on, man. We all
Thank you, bro. Thank you, appreciate you.
Always a pleasure, bro. Always.
Great time, fellas. Watch what Buffalo do. Y'all gonna owe me.
Hey, brother. I'm about to call him, man, when we get off this line.
I want to give a shout out to the Ohio State and their fans, man. Y'all were the real deal, man. Y'all the real deal. Y'all beat my team, but I can honestly say though, man, when you lose to somebody that's beaten all the top 6, 7, 8 teams in the country, I mean, it is what it is. I have no problem, man, giving Ohio State their props. They was the real deal, man.
They did their thing, man. Definitely a win. So, but we gonna catch y'all next week, man. I'll see y'all next week. We out.
Peace.
We lock and load, Allen Pants.